Hello. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself? Good morning, girls. Mr. Day, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed to enter the inner temple. Oh, I see. So is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick clocks in the training hall? No, she's a defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Oh, then, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgeworth. What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony. You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. There's just no one karma. What are you up to? I know what you're thinking. Francesca isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot. Francesca is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick clocks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your hold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. So a smile. I still will have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. The last case of the trilogy. Rise from the Ashes came a few years after this stuff. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris as Your Honor, what are you... Who? Me? Well, my older brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. Then I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. My poor brother, he looked a bit pale. Not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. Impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely what we feel the need to judge the past. And we as a court are charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said, at least up until then. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There is only one thing that remains constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mud. So then you mean... Oh, forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Resurrection Temple has a confession to make. Confession? To defending? Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for a confession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Olistyan? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court. Order. Witness. Are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes in court, and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trump? That goes on. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Now then, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime are you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris was covering for someone. Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. Sorry, the main family? Yes, and that's why I would donate myself if need be to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean family. Mystic Maya Faye. Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Wright. She's naming Maya! Order in the court. So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of her. I'm terribly sorry. It is true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try and protect her. Objection! That's ridiculous. Maya could never do such a... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. The real murder. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So it was in self-defense? Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? How bad. You got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night, and that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. This is a lot. didn't deliver a fatal strike. Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. Dagger, huh? And Elysium tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye. Yes, exactly. Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony with your client? Do I have a problem with Iris' testimony? There's one thing. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? This witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. It's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now, let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. She threw her staff away. Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Wright. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon. It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff. Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff. Yes, that's what I saw. Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright? Yeah, it's odd already. Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this. And then, Mystic Maya, she turned things around. She used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike. Witness, are you absolutely certain? Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something, Maya Faye's name would have been written on this autopsy report instead. Yes, I see. This is bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in the testimony, Maya's going to get blamed for this. I only have this to say. So you're saying Maya Faye was the one who stabbed Miss Elise down? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw? Yes.
Objection!
If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quickly. This. Oh, I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get. It's called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Screwball waiting for me to point out the contradictions. I like the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. I only really believe in invisible evidence, but I think it might actually hurt your statement with the judge. First, I need to pick the testimony apart and expose their unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday, on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple.
Objection!
See now, too bad for you. What she said yesterday doesn't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? I was in the inner temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. What do you have to say, witness? I just couldn't tell the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder. There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden? Well, Your Honor, has to be this. I don't think I used this right away. Right away. So it does. I'm gonna present the staff.
Objection!
Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh. Miss Diana throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't notice, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise Dunham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say?
Objection!
That was an impressive bit of investigation, Trey. I never would have thought it was a sword instead. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is overrated, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger for her. Well. Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use is what is important. The important thing is that she tried to kill the Maya. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back this argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Dunham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. I wonder how to pronounce her last name.
Take that!
Elise Dunham would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Dunham. Her real name was Misty Fey. No, not Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to? Misty Fey is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Dunham actually the Korean Misty? There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, 1. That the victim supposedly threw away a sword during the fight. 2. That his two people battling with the death were longer than done, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible, except for one little thing. Yes, there's this one little impossible thing. Ha! You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans got under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who was to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to see? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, of course there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? The pine tree. The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow struck, only the violet battle between the two men. This little vehicle slowly turned in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Ha! Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I ordered that a blood test be performed immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Now, the testimony we just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie, ever. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. The battle. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff, but then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Wow. They had a fight. Look at that. Again. Jeez. This is scary.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw? Yes, I'm almost certain. Almost. The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who. What did you just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection!
We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who? I don't have anything to counter that yet. Well then, please continue with your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Wait, oh! I Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. Oh, she's talking. I'm sure she was stabbed in the stomach. Yes. Okay, I thought it went back to the thing. Where did that dagger go? I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see. According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle. That is the most likely explanation. After being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away? Now that I think of it, she seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while, and Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over. Seems like a reasonable story at first, but there's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone. That alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. For a moment, then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. Then Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground. So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh? Yes. Right here, Oh, what? Stabbing back?
Objection!
What? Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you. Maya Faye stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you got to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind.
Objection!
Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useful stats, the people fighting being mother and daughter. And now, she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, it is being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, but to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all senses. When you really concentrate on what this witness said, Prosecutor Dahlia, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, but according to the head nut, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Excuse me. Impossible. It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Troy? No! No! Order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern in the evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Ooh, boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood. And it says Maya upside down. What the?
Oh, yes, that's right. After being cornered and stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing it down on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
Certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are you all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern is as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all. Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. So that's what you meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot. Okay, then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Diana was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Sister Iris's cover-up.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the current tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to the Hazakura temple. I used the CTC tone to alter the way the room looked.
So you moved the body.
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Dunham was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
Terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What?
Hold it!
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself.
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow.
The snow, huh?
Hold it!
Snowboat! I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I have the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? About the tracks? If you really did move the body by snowboard, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented at yesterday's show. Are these the tracks from now?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks.
I don't see what's so strange about that. The snow is still falling when I left Hazakura asleep, the snow was still falling. And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks. How about the story? What do you think about this testimony? When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. But it doesn't have something to do with the case. All will be made clear if you allow the statement to be added to the record. This should be fun. You, let's get the snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. I'll press this first.
Hold it!
Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw me? Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst. Probably. Or definitely. I see. So Sister Bikini safely thought you were the one that murdered Miss Dale. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing.
Hold it!
There have been a lot of contradictions in the testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true? Yes, I am. When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowball tracks were so clear. That's right. I'm certain of it. I think I've tried to this time. Oh, I see how you think. Snow, huh? What is going on here? If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it would mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie. Revelations. What? Well, Mr. Trey, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your next video. It's like a random reference. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of.
Objection!
You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. It just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did you say? That the bridge, it was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out, no matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth. You can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Dialogue. Order. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lie, and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Objection!
The only person here that is truly comfortable is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squatter. It's a squat. The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course. But whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Liz Dale was discovered in the house of her temple. And second, the head nurse, Sister Bikini, witness Iris just buried Liz Dale's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying. What are you claiming this time? It wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy.
Objection!
You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy?
Objection!
It's only human to her. If you're so perfect, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burned down. Somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple court. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burned out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. See what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Alright then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? Moving the body. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross over the bridge? So it was just a misunderstanding. I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Ryan will be accused of murder. That's right, I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination. She's doing all of this. I can't believe it. No, she's so pretty. No, what? I can't. I just can't see her doing this. But you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped. I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong. Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across. Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing? Ha, if there was, I don't think you call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. Come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. But how do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and see where that takes me. I've got to be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead. How though? I don't understand. What? How? How is she flying though?
Objection!
A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. What? You're saying it's possible. Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous. Who is it? Who is this witness? Can't check it out here. I've got to keep on the attack. Go. It's always done a brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Or he's done. Highly gifted apprentice? Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the mountain shack at Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen the sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night. Are you serious? It is not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? You're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument. The judge looks like he's about to pull a gasket. Ha! Well, Trey, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does the sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why do you go out and say that? Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show? I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Where's Denim is... complete contradiction. Interesting options. You got a lot of choices here. Complete contradiction, then. She wouldn't fly, I guess. Something is obviously funny about this sketch. I'm no art critic, but even I can see that. No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Where's Denim stated over and over that the sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, the sketch contradicts reality as we know. It contradicts reality. Ha, this is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger pointing thing again. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know this?
Take that!
This flying figure, naturally. After all, people haven't learned to fly yet. Or did I miss something? That's right, that answer just now. It was lethal. That's right, after dragging us all the way to this point. The answer was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. I'm actually blushing. She only sees women, not the elder. Anyway, what now? Like something else? That was funny. Brother, please give me one more chance. Oh, upside down? Wait, upside down. Oh, the bridge is upside down. So she was going under it, not over it. Where do I point for that? Bridge?
Take that!
Where do I point for that? I don't know. So the bridge is upside down, because he was looking at it upside down. The wire.
Take that!
It's the wire connected to the bridge. This wire. The wire. Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. And this is is there a picture for this? photo?
Take that!
That's a photo of Dusty Bridge, correct? Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusty Bridge, jumping Josephat, the wires are below the guard wires. What? Order. The sketch is somewhat different from what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it? Or perhaps he just drew it wrong? Either way, it sounds like just wrong. Ugh, I got these voices backwards. So on recordings, I admit a mistake is definitely a possibility. Then that begs the question, why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying that you know the answer to that? Listen, think back. Alright. Remember what Royce was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Royce must have been in. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did. He was lying on his back. I can't see how it was, but it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. No way. Warrior's gun and witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Neat. So then, this sketch should actually... I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Warrior's Daniel's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum. Ridiculous. Order. Of all the things to say, pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. He used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done.
Objection!
Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusty Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite end. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with the pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead.
Objection!
The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand? Whoa. Photo again? I mean, there's a little wire. Yeah.
Take that!
Sure. And then what this is. If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of the glorious beard. This is one of the wires from the bridge. When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Bruce John's body. Boy, they animated it too. Look at that. Cool, because there's simply no other way to move the body. Mr. Godard. perceive that Mr. Woodard is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of them both being readily available were very high, so I suppose that it's not a possibility after all.
Objection!
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Wait, because the body fell?
Take that!
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the temple. So that was the spot where the curve. Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement over the overhead map. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point. Usage. Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other end. What makes you think something like that happened? Because I have evidence that the body dropped some distance. What kind of evidence? Take a look at this spot to see the photo. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after. 10 feet. That's most likely the height of the sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing, this crystal sphere is not loose. But that's... Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Vasili's death staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found. Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the big pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. Speed. Right amount of speed. You may have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright. I thought this cold coffee might help cool me down. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godard? That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Shrek. But you forgot about one thing. And what would that be? The aroma. Coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep, profound aroma. The rest of the quote doesn't speak coffee means. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side, like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch him. Accomplice? The criminal wasn't able to cross the ski bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trey? Mr. Godard is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do. Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have been taken for a temple without an accomplice. Very well then. Please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body? Could it have been... Dahlia? Or... someone else? Huh. So Iris?
Take that!
It can only be you, Sister Iris. I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowboard. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You were the only one that could have managed it.
Objection!
Trey, when you were listening to the witness's testimony. On the night of the crime, this little key was on cleanup duty in the air temple. temple garden after the mother daughter flood.
Objection!
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godard? This witness was also seen at Hasbro Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim. Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that note, the defendant was in two different places at the same time. Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony? You mentioned what? The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known. No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum. But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you were not really Irish to begin with. What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Irish and hasn't heard of
Objection!
Are you serious? True. You this woman is... There's no one besides Irish that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I was sick in the stomach this whole trial. Why her full demeanor changed so suddenly yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is... Dahlia! I never thought I'd have to utter your name again. What I won't see you. It's been a long time. Dahlia Hawthorne. Sister Iris, your twin sister. And your own, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. That name rings some bells. Distant bells. The bells of the west. It's just your imagination, perhaps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. Well, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month. So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom. What? Order. Wait a minute. How can you? My sister. She's already dead. What kind of...
Objection!
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Great Channel took me close within that body. Great Channel. Now where am I heard that? That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne, that's all. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of the spirit. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very note of the murder to attempt to learn to assist with my instruments. Well, if you're going to put things down, yes.
Objection!
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens.
Objection!
Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of the plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here, these instructions. What's that? These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. Parts of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be changed. That night, there were 2 irises at Hasbro Temple. 2. Even the time of the channeling was planned. As soon as you clear the lights out. In other words, 10 o'clock p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner. That means the Iris that was for dinner is the real Iris. And the Iris who gave me this hood on the main is also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris sister became the song of there's someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Objection!
Do you even know what you're saying, Trey? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true. that you found the plans to talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing on the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. Afternoon Sister Pete, Dahlia Hawthorne, and the chamber would have been stranded at the inner temple due to lightning strike. He was waiting at the doctor's room. That's right. Naturally, that would mean the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came out to Crow Temple's building. There they found Iris and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision and detention center. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that. Thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced. Something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that Iris here is the same one from the other night. Ha. I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places. Switched places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness identity, we can't continue with this trial. Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere. Well, Mr. Wright. Whoa. I'll say right there. Since the time she was arrested at House of Crow Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne? Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance. Oh, explain yourself. Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised. Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that? Sorry, I know you didn't mean it. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was... Miles Edgeworth.
Take that!
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it? Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not? An earthquake? We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne. That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling. Be quiet. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge. That voice? Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, I'll always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne, in my current profession, permanently retired. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me. What is going on here? Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her, and for myself. Ho ho. That is insane. I can't believe she's going through all of this. She's just really determined. Bye.